If you only had a basket for all of your home workout gear, what would make the cut? I'm about to find out, because tomorrow I'm leaving for a week of teaching in California. I'm taking my, hey, come here. I'm taking my 16-week Border Collie puppy, Goose, and he's a handful, and he has tons of stuff. A crate, his food, bowls, leashes, puzzles. Because I'm teaching a training, I'm also taking a projector, a full disarticulated skeleton. In other words, it's getting ridiculous. But I want to maintain my movement practice while I'm there. So I'm going to pack up everything I need in a single basket. I want to show you what's in there and why. Because workout gear can get overwhelming. I consider these the essentials. First thing going in the basket is a kettlebell. I love kettlebells in a way that's hard to explain until you've used one. They're more intuitive than dumbbells. They ask for connection throughout your whole body, especially from your core. I love the way they challenge me. I love the way you can swing and pump them so it has a flow-like quality. There's a power that the kettlebell creates that reminds me of yoga.
Oh, goosey.
Next are two 20-pound dumbbells. And I'll be honest, these are a little heavy for me, especially in arm things, but I'm gonna take them to challenge myself. I'm tempted to take the 10s, but the 20s are better, especially because I'm not gonna be at the gym. I'm gonna be in an unfamiliar space, doing what I can with what I have. I want to make sure I still feel like I'm growing and challenging myself, and I didn't bring all of this for nothing. Even though I was an athlete for many years and my legs look strong, I feel like my hamstrings have always been catching up with my quads. So movements like Romanian deadlifts, B-stance Romanian deadlifts, putting the weight on my pelvis and my femur bones during a bridge, these are all super important and therapeutic for my body. When I'm not working my hamstrings, my pelvis tends to tilt. And then I get that familiar, achy, cranky, unhappy SI joint, especially with 8 hours of driving. So the weights are not just a challenge, they're actually therapeutic, because as my hamstrings stay strong and engaged, then my pelvis stays stable, my rib cage stays stacked over my pelvis, I have true core, and my body is happy, especially after driving. And then I'll be doing a lot of adjusting and assisting while I'm teaching and leading a training. I want you to notice this, especially if you're going to use this. Especially if you're going to use this to build your own home workout basket. I did not choose the weights that were comfortable. I chose what's going to challenge me and what's going to help me grow. Next, fabric resistance band. Amazing for the thighs. I will use this to do clamshell variations, Utkatasana variations, to get my outer hips humming. This is another part of the stable pelvis equation, and that stable pelvis is the key to a healthy, happy lower back, especially if you're someone like me, where your low back tends to be your weak spot, where you put stress and strain, and what tends to talk to you when the body has had enough. And in the past, I would have stretched my lower back after a trip like this, but I've learned that strength and stability helps my lower back feel better faster. That was super counterintuitive for me. I wanted to stretch what was tight. But the tight things are actually telling you that they're picking up the slack for the deep core, which has gone offline because you've been sitting too long. And if you get the deep core online, if you restore the stability at the very center of your body, then those superficial, achy, tight things just let go. Next, a rubber resistance band. So the fabric one I use on the thighs and even the shins sometimes, and it's about helping me find power and channel strength to the very core of my body. The rubber band is about activating stabilizers. So I'll use this on my feet during core work, on my forearms during core work, on my forearms during vinyasa and standing poses. And this really helps all those tiny little muscles in the shoulder activate and engage. They'll start quivering and even fatiguing very quickly. This helps my posture from driving, but also I tend to lean forward when I'm teaching. It is not the best postural habit, but I get very into it and I want to stay more upright and present in my heart rather than in my head. And the bands, believe it or not, really help with that. They train those muscles and the connective tissue that help me stay upright and poised. So rubber band for stabilizers. Next, one single myofascial release ball. I literally use this every day. I use it for the back rim of my pelvis, the IT band, the inner thigh line. I'll use it up on my side ribs and the back of the armpit when I'm feeling brave. The myofascial release ball is like a spot treatment for tight, sticky areas in the body. I often feel like I'll find a spot and if I hold there, it'll pop like bubble wrap. It's just gone. Or I'll work out the webbing so that my body moves more freely, fully. I also love to use this and then do mobility work or strength work or sometimes even a little bit of stretching because this opens all the muscle fibers. So this is almost like the magic key for helping my body stay connected and coherent, especially when I'm doing something like driving for 8 hours in the car. Last thing, one block. And you might be surprised at how I use it. 99% of the time these days, I'm using the block behind my head to lengthen and traction the back of the skull. There's a lot of tight tissue that accumulates in the back of the skull, back of the neck, and that's how we get stuck in that head forward posture. And again, driving, teaching, studying, all that stuff's gonna put me in that position. So I'll use the block to simply traction the back of my head, the back of my neck. It'll release tight tissue in the shoulders and chest as well. The block lengthening and tractioning the back of the neck will also encourage your chin to drop down. And when the chin drops down, you get tone in the back center of the throat, the deep neck flexors, and this contributes to core. And that's why you see me doing core work with the block. I will use it for that as well because we always need more deep core. So that's the basket. And it's heavy, so moving it around is going to be its own functional workout, but it also is one basket. And with all the other stuff I'm putting in the car, I'm so stoked that everything I need for my practices to take care of my body fits in this little teeny tiny space. And this was kind of fun. It was clarifying about what I need, what I love, and it'll be a fun challenge for while I'm there to get satisfying movement, asana strong style practices in with just this gear. And if you're just starting out with working out at home, or you want to add strength building equipment to your yoga asana routine, this is it. I'd say these are the essentials and this is what will work and get you results. I'll film some practices while I'm there. You'll get to see Goose in attack mode and wrestling with resistance bands, and I'll share my experience too. If you want my help getting started with strength, you can schedule a strength audit. It's in the description below. 100% free, zero pressure, just a way to actually get some help because I know how confusing it is when you're just starting. And if you wanted to try a practice with gear like this, check out the Asana Strong functional line. Thanks for being here. See you soon.